100 million Americans suffer from chronic pain, but more surprising than that fact is that more than half of them are women. We're joined today by author Judy Foreman. Hi, Judy.
Hi, how are you?
Who's written a piece on this surprising fact for Weekend Review for the Wall Street Journal. So Judy, first of all, what is chronic pain? What do we mean by that?
Well, the simplest definition is pain that lasts for more than 3 to 6 months. But actually, chronic pain is not the same thing as acute pain that just doesn't go away. It's a transformation of the nervous system. The nervous system becomes like a runaway train and it goes on its own accord. And the initial problem that kicked off the pain often can no longer be found, but the nervous system is still totally revved up. And that's what chronic pain is.
So what explains this disparity between men and women in their experience of pain? Do we know why this is the case?
We don't know why. We do know that in puberty, when kids are little, boys and girls have roughly the same amount and degree of pain. Once puberty hits, women get a lot more. Like adult women get 3 times as many migraines as men. Obviously, that suggests a hormonal influence, but pinning that down has proved really hard. We do know that testosterone seems to protect against pain. Estrogen is all over the place. Sometimes it protects, sometimes it makes it worse.
So more disturbing in a way than the fact that women suffer pain in greater numbers and with greater intensity is the fact that it seems to go undertreated in important respects. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's really true. Of course, that fits into a sort of an overall pattern in health that women are can be undertreated. But with pain, it's particularly true. Women are less likely to be worked up thoroughly when they come into the emergency room with chest pain. They're less likely to be put in the ICU, to be given respirators and interventions that can keep them from dying. Even with less serious things like knee pain from osteoarthritis, they're much less likely to be referred for knee replacement surgery. And it's not quite clear why there's a prejudice against women, but that shows up in study after study after study.
Well, so Judy, in this piece you've written for Weekend Review, you start off by talking about your own experience with this severe neck pain that you had. So what did you learn from that experience and from your research for this book that might be of help to women suffering from pain?
Well, I think one of the things I learned, and this is borne out by brain scans, is that women tend to feel and talk about their pain in relatively more emotional terms than men. And frankly, that is a real turnoff for doctors. Both male and female doctors seem to react badly when women present their pain in really emotional terms. I mean, we women can't help it because that is really more true to the way we feel it. But I think the more that women can present their pain kind of objectively and keep a pain diary of when the pain is better, when the pain is worse, and kind of present things as factually as possible, I think that really helps.
Now, in your book, from which we've excerpted for the paper this weekend, you talk about the wider pain problem. So how much of a problem is it and how well are we dealing with it?
It's a big problem and we're not doing well at all, is the short answer. The Institute of Medicine, which, as you know, is an arm of the National Academy of Sciences, did a big study a couple years ago, and they found that 100 million Americans are living with chronic pain. That's really almost half of the adult population. Not everybody has it as badly as I did, but many people do. 10 to 30% have excruciating pain that can really be interfering with their lives. And in fact, chronic pain raises the risk of suicide. It doubles the risk of suicide in people in pain compared to those without pain. We're doing a pretty terrible job. Medical schools really don't do much about teaching about pain, even though it's really a bigger problem than cancer, heart disease, and diabetes all put together. And the federal government spends almost nothing on pain. The National Institutes of Health spends only about 1% of its massive budget on pain research. And that's crazy given what a big problem it is. So there's a colossal mismatch between what people in pain need and what they're getting.
Very good. The book is called A Nation in Pain. Author Judy Foreman, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
For Wall Street Journal Weekend Review, I'm Gary Rosen.